Aaron Judge went on the injured list on Friday with a right rib stress fracture, retroactive to June 2nd. The American League East race just got a whole lot more interesting, and not in a good way for New York. They are tied going into another series against Cleveland. The standings don't lie. The box scores don't either. I'm Pete Dwyer, and this is the division line from the Baseball Nerd. 6 divisions, 30 teams, in one weekly breakdown of what the numbers actually say. The best record in baseball belongs to Atlanta at 45-21. The Dodgers are right behind at 42-24, and Milwaukee rounds out the top 3 at 40-23. The National League is where the best baseball is being played right now. For your division leaders in the AL East, it's the Tampa Bay Rays at 37-25, leading on winning percentage points over the Yankees at 38-26. In reality, they're just tied. The Rays went 1-5 on the week. They were swept by Detroit and then dropped 2-3 to Miami. That's a collapse. I said it last week on the podcast that the Tampa Bay run wasn't sustainable, and now this division is wide open. In the American League Central, the Cleveland Guardians are 37-30, 2 up on the White Sox. The Guardians went 3-3 for the week. They took 2-3 from the Yankees, but then dropped 2-3 to Texas. In the American League West, the Seattle Mariners are 34-32, 1.5 games up on the Rangers. The Mariners also went 3-3. They took 2-3 from the Mets, but dropped 2-3 to Detroit. In the National League East, the Atlanta Braves are 9.5 up on Philadelphia. For the week, the Braves went 5-1. They took 2-3 from Toronto and then swept the Pirates. Atlanta is still the best team in baseball. In the National League Central, the Milwaukee Brewers are 40-23, 5 up on the Cardinals. This week, the Brewers went 5-2. They split 4 with San Francisco and then swept Colorado. Milwaukee is pulling away. In the National League West, the Dodgers are 42-24, 7.5 up on Arizona. That's right, the Diamondbacks leapfrogged the Padres. But the Dodgers went 4-3 on the week. They split 4 with Arizona and then took 2-3 from the Angels. Their lead is significant. In the wild card picture in the American League, the Yankees, the White Sox, and the Rangers are all in. The Blue Jays are a half game out, and the Athletics are a full game out. In the National League, the Cardinals and the Phillies are in, and the Cubs and the Diamondbacks are tied on the cut line. The Padres are a half game out. This is the Baseball Nerd, and we talk about the Spark Scores. Leading off the Spark Scores this week, again, is James Wood from the Nationals. His Spark Score is 89. This season, he's had 304 plate appearances, carrying a weighted runs created plus score of 160. He has a barrel rate of 25.2% and a hard hit rate of 58.7%. The Nationals are a surprise team, and James Wood is part of the reason. Second on the list is Nick Kurtz from the Athletics. His Spark Score is 81.8. He's had 285 plate appearances, a weighted runs created plus of 157, and a hard hit rate of 58.2%. The Athletics are fighting to stay in the American League wildcard picture, and Nick Kurtz is carrying the offense. Rounding out the top 3 on the Spark Scores is Jacob Misiorowski from Milwaukee. His Spark Score is 94.3. In 78 innings pitched, he's got a strikeout rate of 38.4% and a walk rate of 7.3%. He has not given up bases. He has the best pitching score in the leaderboard, and Milwaukee has a legitimate ace. Let's get into the fade scores. Jeff McNeil from the Athletics is sitting right on top. His fade score is 60.3. He's had 220 plate appearances with a weighted runs created plus score of 75. He has a barrel rate of 1.2%. Jeff McNeil is sharing a roster with Nick Kurtz. The contrast could not be starker. Cedric Mullins is number 2 on the list and a repeat from last week. His fade score is 54.7. He's had 211 plate appearances and a weighted runs created plus score of 60, well below the league average. Tampa Bay went 1-5 this week, and Cedric Mullins is not helping the cause. A new arrival on the fade scores this week is Zach Gallen from the Diamondbacks. His fade score is 41.3. In 64 innings of work, he's got a strikeout rate of 15%. His expected ERA is 5.45. Arizona is tied for the National League wild card, and their number 3 starter is a liability. The prospect of the week that we want to watch this week is Colt Emerson from Seattle. His Spark Score is 63.3, but he's 20 years old. Seattle is fighting for an AL West lead, and their top prospect is right in the middle of it. Last week, he hit a modest .222, but he slugged a monster .555 with 6 stolen bases. He's averaging about 2 bases gained per game. Bases gained is another proprietary stat from the Baseball Nerd. Check us out on Substack. For the injuries and transactions this week, there were a few that are big names. Number 1, Aaron Judge from the Yankees. He's on the 10-day IL with a right rib stress fracture. He went down on June 2nd, and the Yankees have already gone 2-4 without him. Austin Wells is also on the IL with cervical headaches. I had to look that one up. It's pain referred to the head from an underlying issue in the neck. As a catcher, that doesn't sound good, and the Yankees are banged up at the worst time. Carlos Correa from the Astros was transferred to the 60-day IL. He had a torn tendon in his left ankle. He had season-ending surgery in May, and he's expected to miss 6 to 8 months in recovery. I guess Isaac Paredes is not going to be on the trade block after all. And it keeps getting worse for the Red Sox. Garrett Crochet got transferred to the 60-day IL inflammation. Boston lost their ace for the foreseeable future. Trevor Story is also on the 60-day IL. Going to the Dodgers, Tyler Glasnow is transferred to the 60-day IL with low back spasms. Los Angeles keeps losing starters. They might be deep enough to survive it, but the rotation is thinning. Just in time, this week Roki Sasaki seemed to have broke out. Let's see where that goes. Going to San Diego, Nick Pivetta was transferred to the 60-day IL with right elbow inflammation. San Diego is only a half game out of the National League wildcard race, and they cannot afford rotation losses. Traveling back down to Atlanta, Sean Murphy was transferred to the 60-day IL with a fractured left middle finger. The Braves' catching situation just got thinner. Quinn Priester from the Brewers was transferred to the 60-day IL with right thoracic outlet syndrome. It's a serious diagnosis. It's what Zach Wheeler from the Phillies is just getting back from. Milwaukee's depth is now being tested. A couple notable things to talk about on the week. Corey Seager was activated for Texas on Friday. He had a game-winning home run against Parker Messick, who had a really bad outing. Josh Hader was activated for Houston. Manager Joe Espada and Hader both said that the Astros are going to avoid pitching him on back-to-back days for the foreseeable future. And in news that surprises no one, Nick Castellanos was released by San Diego. His 2026 slash line was 270, 319, 462. He hit 4 home runs and 20 RBI. He'll land somewhere. Good luck to him where he does. And in news that changes baseball, Tarek Skubal threw 5 innings in a rehab start on Sunday. He threw 54 pitches. 44 were strikes, and he hit 99 miles an hour in the first inning. I said it on Substack, I'll say it here too. The Tigers should be about a game behind Cleveland at the All-Star break. There's a few games to watch this week. Number 1, the Yankees at Guardians starts today. New York is without Aaron Judge and Austin Wells. Cleveland is 2 up in the AL Central. This series matters for both teams and their positioning. The Phillies and Brewers starts on Thursday for the weekend. Right now, Philadelphia is 1 game back in the wild card, and Milwaukee leads the Central by 5. The division and the wild card is in play on this series. The last one is the Brewers at the A's. Starts today. Oakland is fighting to stay in the wild card picture in the American League, and Milwaukee is just hot in the National League. That's the line. New episodes drop every Monday morning. Like, follow, and share. Subscribe to the Baseball Nerd on Substack. Recaps, standings, and box scores are always live at thebaseballnerd.com. I'll see you next Monday.